And welcome to That Business Show 2.0 with your host, Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Today, we're going to help raise awareness for the Bathe to Save tour. We got Anthony Amos with HydroDog with us today, and he's on this nationwide tour to raise awareness, to adopt, don't shop for the pets and animals that we all have in our houses. So, Anthony, welcome to the program today.
Well, thank you very much for having me, mate. I'm really excited to be on your show.
So Anthony is a very accomplished entrepreneur, an early millionaire with his HydroDog franchise, and now just giving back to the community on this nationwide tour to raise awareness for, you know, the Adopt, Don't Shop cause. So first off, let's talk about this tour that you're on, Bathe to Save. What is this?
Mate, it's 5 Australians, my beautiful wife, 3 kids, 14 Isabella, 13 Austin, and nearly 12 Aria. 3 rabbits, that's correct, you heard me right, 3 rabbits and a little rescue puppy, and we're traveling the country in a 40-foot RV, towing a big blue dog behind us, which is obviously HydroDog, the mobile grooming salon, and we're washing dogs at shelters and events and raising awareness for animal adoption, animal rescue in 50 states and 150 plus cities in the next 12 months.
Wow, incredible. And you said you're up in Massachusetts right now, so if you're listening to the show this week here of end of July 2017, look out for them there in Massachusetts. What's the next stop?
Mate, the next stop is the next big one is on the 10th of August, and we're heading to Hannibal in Missouri. Very cool. That's the next one that we're heading. It's actually a really big event. We've got some business partners over there that are doing all the e-com with us, and it's going to be a big turnout. That's our next big event. Okay,
so talk to me about the awareness that you are trying to raise here. And I've learned about this over the years just because of other friends in this space. But there's a real issue out there with the pets, and the puppy mills, as people call them. People that go out there and buy the purebreds, and there's just so much backlog in the animal shelters. Talk to us about this.
Mate, 5,500 dogs get put down every day here in America. It's unacceptable. And I think the biggest thing that happened with us was the kids were watching those real tearjerker ads with the Humane Society, with the celebrities. And they literally went to my wife and said, now we've got HydroDog back, what can we do? And really, we just said, let's get an RV and put the big blue dog behind it and go across the country. We weren't in any real fixed location at the end of the day, and it was only a few months before we did a Christmas trip with a 32-foot RV, I think, and had the best holiday of our lives. And we thought, what a great way to see the country, give back, create a social conscience for our HydroDog business, and give the kids the opportunity to, live and breathe giving back and being a part of a community that is absolutely growing like wildfire. There is a movement going on with this rescue world, I can tell you that.
Now, HydroDog is the franchise that you founded back in Australia in your early 20s.
Correct.
A millionaire by the age of 28 with this brand, a dog grooming business. Talk to us about the HydroDog brand and how that spawned this Bathe to Save tour.
So the HydroDog, I started it when I was 21. I just came out of playing professional football, and which is rugby to you guys. And we started this business back in Australia, and it grew so fast, so quickly. We hit the right market at the right time and created a wonderful business model. So then decided to bring it over to, there's over 200 over there, very successful business. And we brought it to the US and basically got it up and running and got the franchise going. And, we wanted to do something in regards to building the brand. And today there's such a social conscience connection to really big brands, and we knew we could do something to make a difference. And I'm telling you, the awareness that we're getting out of there is extraordinary. The event we had on the weekend up here in Dover,
Dover, Delaware?
New Hampshire. No, New Hampshire. Okay. All these states, man, I've got to tell you.
Starts to run together, I'm sure.
Yeah, they do. We've only got 7, so it's a lot bigger over here. And what that's effectively doing is giving us the opportunity to come into an environment, a community, they rally together, and then what happens is, after building the relationships and the tour's over, we didn't want to say, all right, well, we've made all this noise, what do we do now? HydroDog, the operators, will connect with the relationships of the small businesses, the shelters, and they will do events every month, once a month, out of their own time, creating awareness and creating these events to raise money for the local shelters and be a part of this national stage. Now, if we start growing across the country like we did in Australia, we're going to have a huge impact on the rescue world as the years to come.
So how big is the franchise in the States right now? I know this was based in Australia when you founded it, but what's it grown to in the States right now?
We haven't actually grown it yet. We've got the big blue dog that's been towed behind the big bus, and we're just about ready to start marketing and selling franchise. We want to put a really nice solid platform in the ground and create the awareness, create the culture. And, you know, I've got to be honest with you, mate, you know, we're going to be taking people on board that love dogs, that want to help rescues, that are just start looking for a money-making machine, which these HydroDogs are. It's more cultural with a money-based opportunity with that. And, you know what I'm talking about. People are going to be either into this or not. They're not, and that's okay. We just want to build a community that's going to be helping these dogs long term. And
you have that recognizable, you know, the HydroDog emblem, or the little the trailer that you're towing behind, and where all the operations go behind. And you know, do you think that was the genius behind the growth in Australia? Was just that brand?
So here in America, we've actually put it on the back of a transit van now. So it's a car. It's a big blue dog in a car now. You know, it's a very good question, James. What happened was we grew so fast, we sold all our territories, and what did that mean? Other people came in that wanted to buy their territories, and they were sold. So other franchise systems started. Now, when they started, they were then obviously competing against us, but we had the same trailer just like them. The moment we went to this big blue dog, people were like, if I can't get a big blue dog, I don't want to get involved. So we absolutely, you know, had a huge impact on the grooming industry for sure. It was definitely a revolutionary product that came into the market.
I think there's something about the power of blue. I mean, blue is a soothing color. It makes, you know, invokes emotion and feeling, and so I think the color definitely played in your favor as well. I mean, talking about the service, is this you know, essentially a dog grooming business? Anything that's unique about this?
Well, what's unique is obviously it's a big blue dog, so your marketing, you know, capability goes through the roof, and you're actually committing yourself to a business model that is recognized across America. People know about mobile grooming. It's not like we've come up with anything brand new, but they're going to want to give the opportunity of the big blue dog coming to their home to wash and groom the dog, because the kids, they just love it. Every time we stop somewhere, there are people taking photos left, right, and center. If you jumped online and had a look at the type of people that are posting this big blue dog, it'll frighten you. It's iconic. And I think as they grow across the country, people are going to appreciate that they're in their town and their city.
Now, the Bathe to Save tour, whose idea was this?
It was really the kids, to be honest with you. I mean, we could have started selling franchises a year and a half ago, but the kids really passionately wanted to do something about saving dogs' lives. When they heard there were 5,500 getting killed a day, they were old enough and smart enough to realize, Dad, you own a business that washes dogs and grooms dogs. Surely you must know people that can help. And we didn't. And I was very, very naive, thinking of 20 years experience in pet industry, 20 years experience in franchising, that I can transition over into the rescue world. But that's not the case. We started from scratch, and we absolutely had to learn this industry from the very beginning. It's a different world, mate. It really, really is.
So educate people out there. Why would I not want to go buy a purebred dog? I understand dogs are being put down, but maybe I like the traits of a certain purebred dog. Convince me why that's a flawed way of looking at things.
I think it's becoming more of a society process. There is a movement that's going on, and I'll give you a really good example. You and I are down in the park. We're having a bit of a chat. We've got our little rescues. And Richard comes on over with his big German Shepherd. And you and I say, oh, g'day, Richard, because everyone loves talking to people that got dogs. Mm-hmm. And we say, Richard, you've got a lovely German Shepherd. Yeah, oh, my goodness, I paid 10 grand for this dog, and he's a champion of champions. And you and I would go, what? You didn't rescue a dog? But this is what the ironic thing is. If that German Shepherd goes into a shelter and comes through as a rescue dog, it's not a German Shepherd anymore. So people have two things in common in this movement. Number one, they saved a dog's life. They've saved a life. It's not a dog. It's now more of a human, if you like. People love their animals so much. The second thing is they've got a story to tell. So when you and I are in the park and, you know, Richard comes over, we now have a commonality. We've saved a life, and tell me your rescue story. And the rescue stories, you know, they're always trying to one-up each other on the actual rescue story. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it's a process of bringing communities together And I think it's going to be a thing of the past where people are going to just hunt for rescues. You know, people love purebreds, but you can get them through the shelters all the time.
How often do these purebred dogs even end up in the shelters too? Is that also a problem with people that buy the dogs when they end up there?
Absolutely, more often than not. You know, every shelter that we go to, there's always some purebred in that shelter for sure, without a doubt.
Wow, incredible. And so Anthony Amos, raising awareness for this cause, is on the Bathe to Save tour. And so how many different stops are you planning along this year and a half venture? How many are you going to take?
Mate, we're looking at doing all 50 states, including Hawaii and Alaska, and about 150 cities is what's on the record to actually get through and go to these stops. I mean, we've done about 35 states already, but we really did the first half of the tour more of a reconnaissance mission. You know, we needed to understand the methodology and the madness to what we were getting ourselves into. So now we're ready, we're set, and we're about to explode.
And so you stop at the location and you do some local promotion. People bring their pets by. They all get their dogs bathed and groomed, and you're raising awareness for the adopt, don't shop mentality. Is that what this is all about? Is that the mission there?
It's 100% what it's all about. It's getting the communities to rally together and to be a part of something that everybody can relate to at the end of the day.
Very cool. Currently, again, talking to Anthony Amos, the founder of the HydroDog mobile dog grooming solution, and also now on the Bathe to Save tour to raise awareness for the Adopt, Don't Shop campaign out there to help get more pets rescued out of these shelters. Got another segment with him when we come back from the break, and learn more in the meantime at bathe2save.com. You're listening to That Business Show 2.0 with your host, Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. And welcome back to That Business Show 2.0 with your host, Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. New episodes each weekday morning, 9 a.m., thatbusinessnetwork.com, and find us all across social media. Today, our mission is to raise awareness for the Bathe to Save tour with Anthony Amos, the founder of the HydroDog mobile dog grooming solution system. He founded this in his early 20s, became a millionaire at the age of 28, and now is on a mission to give back, traveling across the United States here on the Bathe to Save tour. Learn more, bathe2save.com. They're also offering shirts and different products available for sale in their store. Again, learn more at bathe2save.com. So, Anthony, talking about this whole operation, all the different players, I mean, this is probably just more than you and your family putting this together.
Oh, look, Jamie, I've got to tell you, the biggest and most emotional turning point was getting involved with the greatergood.com. The greatergood.org, the non-profit. They are our 5013C. So all the money we make goes directly to the greatergood.org. Then they grant it back to the shelters that we would have been raising that money for. So it separates us nicely. And we're very open to say that we're a for-profit company that's building this franchise model in on the back end. But on the front end, we're raising all this money and awareness for the shelters. We're up in Seattle, and Seattle have got the greatergood.com up there, which is the ones that feed the greatergood.org. They're the for-profit. And we parked in this position, and 3 or 4 guys came over. And when you see this thing live, I'm not exaggerating. Even I still look at it and go, oh, this is a behemoth. But video and photo doesn't do it justice. So they've seen it, raced back to the office. 26 people came over with their videos, with their cameras, and they did a live Facebook segment, and we went viral.
Wow.
And I swear to God, I was standing there because we've gone through some pretty rough and rocky times of people. Everyone loved it, Jamie, but nobody wanted to commit to it. They said, look, this is great. What you're doing is fantastic. But, you know, everybody wants to see the proof in the pudding. They want to see actions, you know, not words. So as it was going 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, all these people are coming across these platforms because the animal rescue site's got 100 million people across the Greater Good platform. The animal rescue site's got 25 million. So we're hitting all of these people. And Rachel looked over, my wife, and she said, are you crying? I said, no, there's something in my eye. She said, are you serious? I said, this is a turning point. I'm telling you, I've been in business long enough. This is a turning point for us. I said, I think we should stay in a hotel tonight. And the reason that we did, I wanted to read every single person's comment about what we're doing, how much they love the kids, what, you know, the process and good parenting. There wasn't one bad person or an idiot on there that wanted to try and spoil it. And I stayed up to 3 o'clock in the morning and read every single message. And there was like 2,500 of them. And wow. It was one of those moments in your life that you knew was a turning point, and that was. Right,
and I see you've been featured on Rachel Ray's show. You've been with Larry King, so you're picking up momentum right out of the gates.
Yeah, I think Wild Pets come on board. Wild Pets have got all of our product line. They've given us all the shampoos. They help us with our media of our top DMA areas. Great conduit, and with their help, we're able to get on the Rachel Ray show. What an awesome experience that was. And then Larry King was in our RV. He was sitting in the driver's seat, turned around, talking to the family like he'd known us forever. I mean, when you grow up, like all of us have, everyone knows Larry King from an 8-year-old to an 80-year-old. And to have that iconic man in our RV, and then it gets better. He ended up doing an LA event with us in LA with other celebrities where people talk about their rescue stories. So when we do events now, this is the theme because of that event. Bring your best friend down and get washed and tell us your rescue story. We'll upload that rescue story on the animal rescue site and on our own podcast. And that's really what people love to hear these days is everyone's rescue stories.
Are you finding out that there's a lot of people that aren't really aware of the problem in the animal industry with the puppy mills, and they don't realize that you know they shouldn't be shopping at these puppy mills, that adoption is the way to go?
Mate, it blows me away, and I'll even say to them, you know, where have you been living? You don't, and they said, well, we don't really get into those particular circles because we're not in those groups. But as this grows and as these messages, not just from us, get out there, there's a lot of people doing great work. You know, you've got the Best Friends Society that we went to the other 2,000 shelters were there that we connected with, and we're doing some stuff with them as well. I really feel like we're coming into an environment where the non-profits are meeting a for-profit for the first time in history, understanding the value that what we're doing on the front end benefits everyone on the back end because of the commitment we're going to give to our franchises with the shelters to help long term. And I guess, mate, cracking into it was like, I'm not real sure what their intentions are. Are they trying to take a piece of our pie? But when they realize that we're not, and we're absolutely giving it everything we've got to expose their business and their 5013C and the rescue world, the relationships change overnight.
And you're donating all this, back to organizations that are helping, again, rescue dogs and get them into loving homes. Also, you can help support this over at bathe2save.com. They got a store over there. Pick up a shirt, pick up a product, help out this entire cause. So where do you see this thing going? Where's this Bathe to Save tour going to go? Where's HydroDog going right now?
We're getting ready to starting to sell franchises, and a guy came up to us here in New Hampshire and said, I want all of New England. I mean, people are seeing the value that we're bringing to the table and the community awareness and the social conscience. So I can see this being one of the most liked and successful franchises in its industry in the country. I really can, only purely because of the feedback that we're getting on the way through. But that's what we want, James. We want people to see that there's transparency, there's absolute 100% dedication to the cause, and we're very genuine about it. I mean, someone said the other day, I love reading your post because it's different. It's got Australian words through it. And I said, well, that's because I'm Australian. So he said, yeah, but someone would really get out there and push it through a social media company, which we could do. But I've got to post with the kids every day to show them that what we're doing and our Australianisms and, the cultural differences. And, if we didn't do that, we wouldn't be authentic. And I think even though it's a lot of work, it's still showing everybody that that's who we are. We are over here to make a difference, and we want to be very, very genuine about everything that we do.
Currently, again, talking to Anthony Amos, the founder of the HydroDog mobile dog grooming solution, and also now on the Bathe to Save tour to raise awareness for the Adopt, Don't Shop campaign out there to help get more pets rescued out of these shelters. You can learn more in the meantime at bathe2save.com. You're listening to That Business Show 2.0 with your host, Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.